Do you fear that dreaded alarm going off every morning because you just fell asleep only a couple of hours ago? If this is your constant problem, then you could be suffering from a sleep disorder called insomnia. I am someone who suffered from insomnia for over 2 years before I finally sought treatment. It would take me hours to fall asleep, and when I finally did, I was never able to actually stay asleep. Those few years for me were absolutely miserable. Knowing and being informed about your sleeping habits can be helpful to you in both the short and the long run. Maybe even pointing out some unknown potential health issues you didn't even know you had. Today, I'm going to discuss 4 topics of insomnia. First, I will cover the possible causes of insomnia. Second, I will go over the symptoms of this condition. Next, I will talk about the treatment of insomnia. And finally, I will go over ways for possible prevention. First, I want to talk about the physical and psychological causes of insomnia. Physical causes can include excessive caffeine consumption. Now, we all know about coffee as being an issue as far as the amount of caffeine it contains in sleeping, but we don't really think about the other things that we eat and drink throughout the day that could also pose a problem. Things like tea, soda, and chocolate all have caffeine in them and could cause potential problems with sleeping. Certain over-the-counter drugs also contain caffeine that we may or may not know about. Certain allergy medications, decongestants, cold remedies, or even painkillers can contain caffeine and could keep us from sleeping. Exercising just before bed or not exercising enough could also pose a problem. When exercising just before bed, your adrenaline's pumping and you're probably just too wired to even be able to fall asleep. As opposed to not exercising enough throughout the day, you have a lot of energy that you didn't expel, so you have that left over at the end of the night. Cigarette smoking and pajamas that are too tight also pose a physical problem for insomnia. Psychological causes can include depression, PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder, stress, and anxiety. The Sleep Foundation website actually covers the second topic I want to go over. There's an article with the symptoms listed for insomnia, and they range from difficulty falling or staying asleep, constant fatigue or low energy, unintentionally waking waking too early in the morning without the ability to fall back asleep, behavioral problems such as anger or aggression, and having trouble concentrating. Next, I want to discuss the several treatments of insomnia. An individual can go the medicinal route using over-the-counter sleep aids such as Unisom or Benadryl. And if they would rather go the herbal route, you can also take melatonin over the counter. You can go the prescription drug route using drugs such as Ambien and Lunesta. There are countless other drugs that are prescribed for sleeping, but those 2 are the top 2 that are prescribed. And then there's even the route of tranquilizers. Tranquilizers are typically only used for those individuals who suffer from insomnia due to anxiety. For those that want to try a different type of treatment, you can go the non-medicinal route, as discussed in the article written by Howard Lewine in 2017. The most popular non-medicinal routes of treatment are relaxation therapy, which is a technique used to quiet the mind and relax the muscles. There is sleep restriction, which permits only a few hours of sleep per night and then gradually increases your amount of sleeping time as nights continue on. And then there's reconditioning, and this teaches the patient to associate the bed only with sleeping by going to bed only when you're sleepy and avoiding daytime naps. Now that I've discussed the causes, the symptoms, and the treatments of insomnia, I'm going to go over the final topic, which are ways to prevent the condition. The 2004 article in the New Harvard Guide to Women's Health lists ways for prevention, including sticking to a regular schedule, avoiding sporadic naps, especially throughout the day, exercising regularly during the day, just not right before bed, winding down slowly before bedtime, and making the bedroom more conducive to sleep. So if you do things like read before you go to bed or play on your phone or on the computer, just make sure you're not doing it in bed. Do it in a different room or in a different chair or in a chair. That way, when you're ready for bed, you can actually just go to bed. Now that you know some of the basics of insomnia, like the causes, the symptoms, treatments, and prevention, knowing this could help you improve your overall health or help a loved one in the future. Hopefully now we all have the tools to get a better night's sleep.